guys, this is a video about performance and how to be the most confident you can when you perform for others. So some of the RMC instructors and I are going to tell you some of the tips we use when we perform on stage.
Oh, hey guys. I'm kind of caught off guard, but that's okay. Since I practice all the time, I'm going to be fine giving you my pointers for not getting nervous. If I start to sweat, just ignore it, okay? Repetition. Just practice, practice, practice. If you know your material, you're not going to get nervous. It's one less thing to worry about, and if you think you know it, go back and do it again. And try to practice it in different ways. So practice with the song or practice with your band, but especially for drummers, practice it just to the metronome. Practice it without anything to see how well you know the form, because when you go and do that, you realize, okay, I don't exactly know the form. Maybe I have to go back and chart it out. And all these little things just give you more confidence when you go out and play.
Hey, this is David Veet over at the RMC, and today I'm gonna be giving you my #1 tip for dealing with performance excitement. Here it is. Long before you go on stage, be ready. You won't find me fumbling through pages. I've got mine bookmarked. It's ready. My instrument, it's out of its case, it's tuned, it's ready. You see, this gives me confidence that when they call me up, I will not just be excited, I will be ready.
Hi, so my tip for performance nerves or excitement would be, personally, if I think about it too much, it makes me go even crazier, get even more nervous. So I really like just talking to friends, not thinking about it, getting my mind on something other than the fact that I'm about to perform. That really helps me. Or if you're someone that really likes to be prepared, running through just mentally, if you're singing, your words, if you're playing an instrument, your fingerings or your notes, and taking a look at those few things and then putting it aside and not thinking about it. So kind of a combination of preparing and then not preparing, or not preparing, but just taking a second to not think about it.
Hey, how's it going? It's Mr. Ricardo here with some tips on how to help you be more confident when you perform at your next open mic or recital. So let's just take example A, me playing piano, right? It's my first time ever performing. What am I gonna do? First thing, slow your breathing down. Take a few deep breaths. Take a few deep breaths before you begin to play, okay? Something else I just did you notice I moved my head around a little bit? Sometimes moving our body a little bit with the music kind of helps release that energy that we have, all that excitement being built up, right? So a lot of times when we're not moving, our body is actually spending that time tensing up, right? You want to relax. That's why. Breathe slow, move with the music. Bye.
Something that helps me to perform my best is to be completely immersed in the music. So something that helps me to do that is to create a story about the song that I'm playing, or even think of a specific mood that the song makes me feel. So in that way, I'm able to tell myself the story, or just be in that mood, feel that emotion when I'm performing. And I also like to connect that emotion to the audience. So kind of feel like I'm telling them a story as though, I'm reading a story, but I'm actually just playing it through the music, and try to convey that to the audience, because that helps me connect to them a little bit more as well.
One thing I like to remind myself before a performance is this is why you practice. Right? We spend a lot of time working on our musical skills, and we have to remember why. It's so that we can share it with other people. So it's easy to doubt yourself when you get up to a performance. You see the stage and see the audience, but in reality, you have to remember that you practiced. You practiced for this. Just by showing up, you've already proven to you and to everyone else that you are ready.
Sometimes before a performance, I get so excited, I can't stop moving. So what I do to calm down is that I breathe. I take a big breath in through my nose, and I exhale everything, even more than what I took in through the mouth. So like this. All the way out. That way you get to relax and focus on your performance.
Videotape yourself. Every time I play, I video my whole set. I don't post all of it, but I go back and watch it. It drives my girlfriend nuts, but right after the 3 or 4 hour show, I go back and watch usually the whole entire thing so that I can learn from it. So it's like, do I like how I played that? No. A lot of times what happens is when I think I messed something up really bad, I didn't. I played it really well. And then a lot of times when I think I did something perfect, there's room for improvement. So be your own critic, give yourself positive accolades, and then give yourself real criticism. If you have a teacher or somebody you trust, you can also have them help critique you on certain things. So maybe bring a recording of your playing or invite them to your shows and see what they can offer to help you out.
So something that's super important is making sure you're staying hydrated. Make sure you drink a lot of water that day because you're gonna feel so much better if your body is ready, if you've been eating properly, if you've been super hydrated and drinking a lot of water. Those are all great things to think about.
Here's the thing to remember when you're up performing in front of people. Remember, they want to see you do well, just like you do. But if that doesn't work for you, here's some tips I use to perform myself. 1, don't look at the audience. Don't even look at their face. And if that doesn't work, just look over their heads like this. And if that doesn't work, maybe you can try to picture the audience in their underwear. Ooh, that's kind of weird. But that's something I use, because if they're vulnerable, then you'll be more comfortable. But at the end of the day, being prepared is the best remedy to overcome performance anxiety. Hope that helped. Whee!
Hi. When you're performing, it can be very nerve-wracking if it's your first time doing that particular song you've been practicing in front of a crowd. When we practice by ourselves, it's like, oh, we got this, we're the man or the woman. Then, get in front of people and it's like, oh my gosh, my brain power just diminished by 60%. Here's what I like to do. I like to practice performing. So I like to get out in front of my friends or in front of my dog or in front of people, anything that gives you the little slightest sense of getting nervous, that's practicing performing. So you get out, do your piece that you've been practicing or your song or your band thing or whatever. Practice performing it in front of other people just a little bit to make you a little bit nervous so that way you're practicing performing. So the first time you perform it, it's not really your first time. And that's my pro tip.
Realize that the audience wants you to succeed. They don't want you to fail. So knowing that going into it is that they actually want you to do a good job and they're excited to see what you bring to the table. It's not about, oh, are they going to play that part perfect? Or they're not comparing you to Travis Barker or whoever. They're just looking at you for who you are and what your special art and skill is. And they're stoked to just hear it through your unique voice. So you don't have to try to compare yourself to other players, especially players that have been doing it for 3 times as long as you've been alive. So everyone's excited just to kind of see what you have to do. So be easy on yourself.